Fellas, if you live in Texas, I'm gonna need you to check this out. Now, this is from Lauren the Lawyer. I watch her videos over on TikTok. She's always giving us some good information, so y'all should go check her out. Now, I'm pretty sure these rules apply in other states as well, but she is talking about Texas. Y'all just need to check this out.
Now, I don't need to tell y'all to stop making babies with random women or women that you don't want to be attached to for the rest of your life, because having children is honestly more permanent than getting married. People can get out of their marriages. You can't get out of being a parent, especially not in Texas. So let's talk about this again. Married men, if you do not want to be with your wife anymore, file for divorce. Stop just moving on and waiting for your wife to file, because there is something more dangerous than child support in Texas that I keep telling you guys about year after year, but the behavior doesn't change. So again, for the last time, there are 3 ways to be someone's legal father in Texas. Number 1 is a presumed father. Number 2 is an adjudicated father. And number 3 is an acknowledged father. An adjudicated father means that you became this person's father by way of a court proceeding. Maybe you were taken to court, there was a DNA test, and then in the new court order, for whatever that might be, says that you are now adjudicated as this child's legal father. That's one way. An acknowledged father is when you sign an acknowledgement of paternity. It's usually done at a hospital when the child is born, and then that document gets filed with vital records.
This is why you never sign the birth certificate unless you are 100% sure or you've had a DNA test. Because if you do and you're wrong,
it's your ass, Mr. Postman. I want to presume fathers. This means that you automatically become this child's father. No legal proceeding. You don't have to sign an acknowledgement of paternity. You don't even have to sign the birth certificate. You are automatically, legally this child's father. And here are the ways that can happen. Number 1, you are married to the woman when she gives birth to the child. Number 2, a child is born within 301 days of your divorce being granted. So let's say you get a divorce, your divorce was signed today, until 301 days lapse. If she has a baby, automatically presumed father.
That is insane. So if I divorce my wife and 60 days later she go out and get pregnant by Tyrone, I gotta take care of this little crumb snatcher? Man, this is some bullshit.
And number 3, you married a woman after she gave birth to the child and did one of these 3 things. Either 1, you signed an acknowledgement of paternity, or number 2, you went in court and stated on the record that you were going to provide for this child, or number 3, you lived with this child for the first 2 years of their life and you claim them as your own.
Yeah, but stop claiming those kids in your taxes. That couple of $1,000s you're gonna get ain't gonna be nothing compared to those 18 years you're gonna have to deal with.
Now, there are only a couple ways that'll get you out of undoing the fact that you're someone's presumed father. And yeah, they're strict. And before I tell you, because I'm going to let you know how you can get out of this, but before I get into it, if I see one comment that says just get a DNA test, I will never speak on this topic again, and y'all are out here fending for yourself. You cannot just get a DNA test to show that you are not the child's father to get off the hook if you are a presumed father. It takes more than a DNA test. If I see a comment that says just get a DNA test, I'm going to click out. Now, let's just say it's a perfect world. A husband consults with me. He says, hey, look, I want a divorce. I haven't even seen my wife in 5 years. She's moved on. I've moved on. She's had additional kids. That is not my child. And so in a perfect world, we would just file a denial of paternity. The wife and her new man, the new baby daddy, shows up in court. He says, yes, I'm the child's father. He takes a DNA test. He signs an acknowledgement of paternity or gets adjudicated through the court. Husband off the hook. Guess how often that happens? Almost never. The most common scenario is the wife cheated. The husband knows about the cheating because maybe he ain't slept with her and sometime how the hell did you get pregnant? But he don't have a clue who she slept with. Or he's not willing to come to court. Husband doesn't know the baby daddy name, can't serve him. We don't know where he is, who he is. And guess what? He's going to be on the hook for that child, because the only way to be removed as someone's presumed father is to bring forth the real father. You see why just doing the DNA test is not enough? You can only get off the hook if you bring the real baby daddy in. And he's like, yes, I'm the father. Here I go. Here's my DNA test. Here's this, here's that. I'm the father. Then y'all can switch. No other man, you on the hook. It truly breaks my heart when I'm in consultations and I have to look you guys in the eyes and tell you you're stuck. Now, this is how you get unstuck. But until you give me this, consider yourself stuck. Consider yourself prepared to pay child support. Consider yourself having to deal with X, Y, and Z. Now, the men who ended up in this situation because you got cheated on, I'm not talking to you. Like, that's above you. Anybody could get cheated on. You don't know if somebody gonna bring home a baby or the itchy, burny, scratchy. Just pray that whoever you married to is the person God sent to you. I'm talking to the ones that don't file for divorce and they just move on and they're still legally married to their wife, and then she goes and have more kids. You see where I'm going with this, right? Oh, and before someone else put this in the comments, you cannot get a legal separation in Texas. It doesn't exist. You're either married or you're divorced. There's no in between. So that is why I need y'all to help yourselves.
She said an awful lot in this video, but this whole process is just very disturbing to me. The fact that they're willing to dump that kid on any man that they can find is just ridiculous to me. They don't care about what the man has to deal with, or his checks getting garnished, or his license getting suspended. They don't care about none of that. All they want is a warm body. That's all they care about. And people don't understand why so many men are frustrated out here, but it's because of stuff like this. Nobody cares about men. Men are just disposable to these people, apparently, because everything she talked about, there was a simple solution for all of it. If you do DNA test at birth, it will solve all of these issues, all of them. Everything will be fixed right there. If it's mandatory DNA test, you will know exactly who the father of that child is, so they can fix all of this with just that one simple process. But they don't want to do that because then everything will fall on them. They will have to figure out who the real father is, then hold the woman accountable and get out there and search for him and try to find where he works and try to garnish his paychecks. They don't feel like doing all that. They already got a warm body right here in front of them. We're just gonna go with him. The fact that a man can divorce his wife, go off and start a new life with somebody else, but if she gets pregnant within 300 days, he is still presumed to be the father? What the hell is that? And if he doesn't go out and find the real father, he has to pay child support? They're putting it on the ex-husband to find the new boyfriend to take him to court to stop him from paying child support. That is insane. And we all know a lot of these women aren't going to do it, so it will be on the ex-husband to handle that. Now the ex-husband got to go hire a bounty hunter or a private detective just to find the baby father so he can drag him into court. And then you still have to get him to admit that he's the father. And if your ex is out in those streets, you probably have to drag 2 or 3 men in there before you get the right guy.
In the case of 7-week-old Paradise, Kevin is not the father. In the case of 7-week-old Paradise, sir, you are not the father.
Okay, it's okay.
And in the case of 7-week-old Paradise, Damien, you are not the father.
I cannot believe that this is something in the law books. Like, this is actually a law. And again, this isn't just Texas. There are other states that do the same thing. And it just doesn't make sense. The crazy part is the women know that. That's why they're out here being careless, reckless. They don't care. They know somebody's gonna end up taking care of that kid. It's either gonna be the ex, the new boyfriend, or the government. Somebody's gonna take care of that child. So there's no repercussions on her for being reckless. And that should be a problem, but apparently it's not. And this is why there are a lot of women out there doing whatever they want to do, because they know someone's gonna end up paying the price for whatever they got going on. But the lawyer also said something interesting about cheating. She said if your wife cheats on you, you're on your own. There's nothing she can do for you because that's just part of life. You just have to be better at picking the type of woman you should marry. And y'all know I'm always on here saying that, so I do agree with her on that. But I do not agree with her on the fact that if your wife goes out and cheat, you have to be stuck taking care of that child. That to me is crazy, considering that you can just take a DNA test to find out who the real father is. To me, it just sounds like they are doing whatever they can to not hold these women accountable. That's what it sounds like to me. It's not your fault, ma'am. Yes, you stepped out on your husband and slept with some dude you met in the bar. You didn't know his first or last name. That's not your fault. You made a mistake. Your husband is going to pay for that though. He's got to pay for your mistake. I don't understand how they can look at this and say, yeah, that sounds right. It doesn't sound right. It just doesn't. If that man did not create that child, he should not have to take care of that child. It doesn't matter if he's married or not. Y'all want people to get married. Y'all want the marriage rates to go up, but y'all keep these goofy rules in place. It's like, do y'all want people to do it or not? Because this is not giving any man an incentive to do it. And could you imagine if you're the man who got this girl pregnant, you don't want anything to do with her, it was just a jump off, but you know the laws and you know that her husband is gonna have to take care of the kid, and you're just one of those guys who don't want nothing to do with the kid at all? Why would that man ever come to court or step up and say, I'm the father? Why would he ever do that? You think this is gonna be like the movie Life, where there's gonna be a line of men stepping up to be that child's father?
I be the paw boss. I'm the paw that they're young and boss. I'm the peppy.
We all know there are some men out there who don't want anything to do with those kids.
Them kids.
So why would that guy ever show up to court? That's why this is so ridiculous. I understand why so many men are in her comments saying just get a DNA test, because that is the very logical answer to everything she's saying. And we all know most men are logical. And I know she's getting frustrated by it, but it just makes sense. This is why those men in the comments are just blown away by this. But like I said earlier, that would just be too easy. I truly understand why any man who lives in Texas would definitely second guess getting married. I fully understand that, because the laws are just not created for you. If you want to get married, you might want to move out of Texas before you do that. Don't move to Texas or California. Don't get married in either one of those places. And to all you men out there who are married and you just left and just decided to go on and just start a new life, you need to go home and make it official. I know you really don't want to see her again, but just go home, look her in the face and say, go on about your life. But anyway, leave your thoughts on the video. Appreciate you watching. See you next time.